Neopolis, glittering rhinestone of the North Atlantic, epicenter of democracy and aqua-capitalistic madness, supernova of Aquarian lifestyle, mindless joy and lust, the Sodom of Biscay. In Neopolis, they swallow nanorobots to repair their fragile bones, and happiness drugs because sleeping is banned. They host opulent diving parties in fancy dolphin basins. In Aqua's largest market, they're having Clans Union weeks, allowing visitors to admire everything from energy-wasting ferry propulsion to high-pressure champagne bottles, stoves that can bake 70 bars of yeast dough at one time, Aqua Xmas decorations made of glowing plankton, and a perpetual motion machine. In the Museum of the Modern Age, there is even an exhibition of some old rags that are supposed to show the smile of Mona Lisa and the hand of God. But even with all that, the young fight a hopeless battle against boredom. Ready to die for even a hint of fun, terror has become their hobby. The youth of Neopolis love to destroy things and will gladly die trying. They'll steal a ship from an upright cutthroat like me, cut fiber optic lines for a laugh, or kidnap dolphins just to cause a stink. They even expose themselves to the enormous vibrations of the extreme low-frequency transmitting system because they believe it will evolutionize their brains. The new interim government is a high-tech gang without social or human conscience, whose sole aim is to quickly gain positions of power inside the Federation. They're economically fixated, ecologically apathetic, and hell-bent on pushing through their own racial policies, including the genetic manipulation of human beings to better adapt them to the rigors of life in Aqua. These spawn are worse than the results of the eugenics experiments of the shogunate. One of the old guard, Admiral Cox, a good friend and my mentor during the days of the Beyond Wars, doesn't see eye to eye with these democratic developments, which is why he's rebelling. I wouldn't even put it past him to occupy Parliament and take over a data broadcasting station in a surprise coup. And that's when I had to admit I no longer understood Aqua. Had Cox gone power mad? Everything pointed to it, except what Sobinoso Shaka said. She warned me, but then what does she know? I'm an officer of an international task force, and part of that job is keeping my eyes open for officers going off the deep end. Dr. Razor, what's Boston trying to sell you?
Damn it, Flint! The professor here needs protection! I simply offered to be his bodyguard.
Well, I don't think there's any need, really. After all, Neopolis is a very civilized place.
Wait until this civilized place has you by the throat, Professor. We're on the verge of civil war.
What are you doing here anyway, Professor? You run out of test tubes in Machina, Antarctica?
No, I'm here to study the local dolphin population. Did you know that we have 14 of our 23 sets of chromosomes in common with dolphins? They are relatives of Homo aquaticus and may be our ancestors. I'll bet you also didn't know that our blood has the same salt content as seawater. We emit salt with the lacrimal fluid so it can't accumulate in our bodies. Our noses point downward and not to the front. Exo-sapienta evolution. Flint, there are dolphin genes in your genome.
Professor, are you on drugs?
Of course not.
Flint, how's life?
It goes. What are you doing here, Brooklyn?
I was hired by Admiral Cox's communication unit, but then I decided what the hell. So I pocketed the credits and left the old codger in peace. Still, he's better than that new line.
I agree, but I'm worried that Cox is making a mistake. I think he might need to be protected from himself.
Well, I was all set to take on a job, but now that I've cheated the Atlantic Federation, I'm going to have to make tracks. If you want it, report to Brewmeister at Concordia Place.
So, what's the attraction here?
You'd be surprised, Sonny. Glowing jellyfish. That electrostatic fish that live on energy fields in earthquake zones. Some stuffed birds. The tooth of a T-Rex. The teeth of a megalodon. Even a tiny zoo with living surface mammals.
Well, poke me with Poseidon's prod.
Hey! That's not the half of it. We've also got old technology and art. The smile of the Mona Lisa. The hand of God by Michelangelo. The so-called Philosopher's Stone of Old Spain. Weapons collections. The pinnacle of the Eiffel Tower. Cultures of pox viruses. The first superconductor, and the brains of Einstein and Hawking. We've even got instruments that are used to rebreed dolphins.
Stop. I think I need to head for the nearest dive or I won't have to think so much.
Well, please come back again.
Light, sir. Do you have a reservation?
No, I was thinking maybe I could just hang around for a while and get something to eat.
Well, it so happens that the turmoil in our city has compelled a number of cancellations, so we may be able to fit you in.
Great. So what's on today's menu?
We have an excellent jellyfish sorbet, which is served on a dark table so that you may enjoy its lucifern-like glow. We also have a cocktail of king vent prawns and riftia mousse, baby barnacles on poached protein granules, and halibut eyes. Octopus roasted in its own ink with a souffle of sugared isopods. And finally, a parfait of deep sea sponge and sea cucumber pulp.
How about a plate full of mussels?
Mussels? I'm very sorry, sir. No. However, the specialty of the house is living baby octopus, served with fresh eggs of its brothers and sisters, and drizzled with an amino foam sauce.
Tongue and tongue! The gods of the deep sea must have sent you. I'm so drunk, I can't find a way to the camp.
Man, and that's supposed to be the job you've got to offer, you lousy boozer?
Damn! Honky tongue? Nah, you're a two. We need Masters of Sentinel and Carpenter now, and Light Water, and rope of Colder and Deeper F1. You can make credits out, and I've already ordered a few cargo ships full of that stuff. But there's some trouble.
Why don't they just take you along? You can make people drunk just by breathing on them.
The interim government under High Commander DePonto is concerned about the stability of the Federation. Ask around and see if Admiral Cox is really planning to take Parliament in a surprise coup.
The way I hear it, dirty tricks from the new line politicians are the real reason for the instability in Neopolis. Still, if I can't find any arguments in favor of what Cox is doing, I'll side with you.